Hello, everyone, and welcome to True Serum Tuesday today. It feels like I haven't been on here for a really long time. Oh, I can see myself in the reflection. I want to try and move this. So sorry, I'm going to make some adjustments here, but I don't want to see my own reflection in the mirror behind me. So, it's been a while. Last week I was feeling under the weather, unfortunately. And sorry, I'm adjusting this so much. I was under the weather, and so I wasn't able to log on, and I missed all of you on here because I really look forward to being with you on this True Serum Tuesday and really having some of that interaction with you that I miss in the in-between times. And I haven't been able to get on for freaking excuse me, I'm gonna probably have some coughs, but haven't been able to get on. Hey Cindy, it's your first time on here. Hi, nice to have you. I haven't been able to get on freaking Let It Go Fridays because last week I was just totally wiped out sick. So I'm so glad that you're able to join me, and make sure that if you're logging on, make sure you say hi, because I would love to say hello to you. You can type hi or hello in the comments section, and hopefully we'll just continue to have more and more women gather with us. Hey Karen, nice to have you. So give me some, if you guys can hear me, give me some thumbs up and some hearts so I know that you're there and I can see. Man, the lighting's kind of going in and out here. So I can see that you guys can hear and see me. Sometimes there's a little bit of a delay, so some of that happens. So tonight, so if I start coughing and a little bit froggy, really sorry about that. I'm just going to try and make it through. We won't have too long of a session tonight, but I was reading Dr. Joe Dispenza's book, like I recommend to all of you. It's called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. And it's not about, not being you, but it's about when you can't seem to be having the life that you want to be living, you can't seem to manifest or create the things that you want in your life, or you can't, I guess, honestly, just you're not able to live the way you want to be living. And there's things that are blocking you. Maybe there's old patterns of behaviors. Maybe even there's a little bit of some trauma stuff there. And when you're not able to get past like some roadblocks and you're not able to do, just kind of let and release things go, how do we do that? So this book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, uses some meditation techniques, and it also talks a lot about the brain science, which is another reason why I love it. So it has science backed, and also some of the other things, concepts in there about quantum physics and stuff like that. Hey Kathy, I think it's your first time on here too. So if you're logging in, make sure you say hello. I'd love to say hi to you. So anyway, I was reading this book, and sometimes there's been times in my life, and I don't know if it's been the same for you. If it has been, make sure to let me know so I can get some interaction going here. I feel like I'm finally reached this point in my life, and then I end up just being, it didn't make me happy. And it's not to say that you don't keep trying things to see if that's something that's going to be right for you. But Dr. Dispenza was talking about how he had this great career, how he was helping all of these people, and he was speaking and he was traveling and he was doing all of these things that supposedly were the things that were going to make his life fulfilled and to be happy. And hey, Dawn, nice to have you. And yet he found himself continuously saying, like, this isn't as fulfilling as I thought it would be. Like, I do good work, I make positive impact, I get to travel, but it's not creating the happiness. And he brought up this concept of how we often, and let me know if you guys can identify with this. Put yes in the comment section below. I'm not sure if I'm not seeing them or if you guys aren't pushing it. So the thumbs up or the hearts always lets me know that what I'm talking about is something that you're understanding. So feel free to do that. Hey, Veronica. So he was talking about how he was doing all these things, the things that he thought was going to bring him the joy and this happiness and a fulfilled life, but he wasn't feeling any of those things anymore. And so what he talked about was this realization that he was then looking to his external environment to fulfill his self-worth, to fulfill his being of happy. His external environment, the things that he was doing, weren't really making him feel those things that he thought they would, or that maybe they started to make him feel in the beginning. And then he said, well, what would happen if I didn't have any of these things? Would I still know who I am on the inside? Would I still feel like I was a valuable person? And I really started thinking about that in my situation. You know, I talk with you guys. I speak with so many women and individuals on a daily, monthly basis. And they all ask me the same question, like, how come I just can't be happy? And I think the answer is, in all those times that I've tried to find things, oh, well, if I try this, then I'll be happy. Well, if I try that, then I'll be happy. But the only problem is I'm always searching for an external thing to stimulate the way I want to feel internally. So then I just begin to rely on having these external things identify the way that I am. So are you guys getting that? Like, if you can push yes in the comments, or if you can get a yes in there, I can't see them. I don't know, whoever has my cell phone, if you guys, cell phone number, if you guys see the yeses in there or the thumbs up and the hearts, let me know, because this is a really important concept. And it's kind of how the world works. Well, if I'm good enough, then this will happen. Or when I tell somebody thank you, that makes me feel good about myself. So then pretty soon we're only addicted to our external environment. So how about those of you, there's a lot of people on here that are in the helping profession. So helping profession, MFT, social worker, RN, school teacher, all those are helping professions. What would you do if you didn't have your profession? And I asked myself that same question, like, what would I do? Okay, this is kind of extreme, but what would I do if I couldn't talk anymore? Would my whole world be crushed because that meant I couldn't make a positive impact anymore? Am I so reliant on being able to help others that I don't recognize within myself internally that then I'm kind of addicted to these behaviors because it makes me feel good? And so what Dr. Joe talks about in this book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, is really having that internally. So I'm just going to look at my notes really quick here. So in the book, again, I'm just going to go back a little bit. It talks about how we have the propensity to associate an external thing that's making a feeling either be there or go away without the internal chemistry changing. We have to change the internal chemistry. So you guys getting this? Like, are you getting it? Give me thumbs up and hearts. I don't see any feedback, but I'm sure you guys are there. I can see all your names on there. So how do we stop that? How do we create the internal chemistry change? And then we're not reliant on our environment, right? That's how people say, how can I not be, how can I be this way even though I'm surrounded by people that do this? Well, because you're operating independent of your environment, right? So we have to make the internal chemistry change. How do you make the internal chemistry change? Well, first you have to know what the internal chemistry is. So the other thing in this is that when you stop doing, then what are you left with? And once you can really face maybe your fear, hey Jennifer, hi Adrian, hi Ashley, when you can face your fear about what truly is happening, then you have a starting point. But if you continue to be externally stimulated so you can be happy, so you can feel like you have a purpose without anything that you're doing already. Because that's the beautiful thing about it. You've been put on this earth just because that's what you were meant to be doing. You don't have to be necessarily how do you just acknowledge yourself without any of these other things, without being a mom, without being a helper, without being, I don't know, like a family member? You know, how do you do all that stuff? So you start operating to create the internal change, but the first thing you need to do to create internal change is you have to face it. You have to sit. We do, so we don't sit and feel. Now, I'm not telling you that you have to go into the depths, right? We're not talking extremes here. But once you have a starting point, it's not to say, oh, I'm so this, or oh, I can't do this, or I'm not good enough. That's not the point. The point is to say, when I'm 30 pounds overweight, at least I know what's going on with me. I know I'm 30 pounds overweight, and now I have an empowerment. I have the ability to say what I want to do about that. How many of you want to have that empowerment? How many of you want to have the confidence to say, okay, just because I'm 30 pounds overweight doesn't mean anything, but I'm 30 pounds overweight. I don't like the way it's making me feel. I don't like the way that I'm looking at myself in the mirror, and I want to change it. And then you have the why, right? So many of us have had health problems. Like, I've been sick for a week. I was in the ER with a gallbladder attack. I got an abscess in my mouth. Oh my gosh, all within like 2 weeks time frame. And my body is telling me, Rachel, slow down, take a moment, listen to me now, right? I'm not doing anything that I don't tell you guys already to do. Like, I am practicing what I preach. So I slowed down. And as much as I miss you guys, last Tuesday, I took the night off. And that was huge for me. Huge. Any of you that know me, it was huge. Because I love this so much. So I stopped relying on my external environment last Tuesday that made me feel like I was being able to make an impact. And I trusted that I would still be able to make a positive impact whether I was online with you or whether I wasn't. Because this doesn't define how good of a person I am. My internal state defines. So I recognize what's really happening with me. I take a moment and I sit. Because in the sitting, that's when the wisdom comes, right? That's when the wisdom comes. So you're going to sit with it and you're just going to recognize. You're not going to have a judgment. Don't judge yourself. You do it all the time. Don't do it about this. I'm 30 pounds overweight. I'm not going to judge myself for it. I'm going to recognize, and then I'm going to choose. I'm going to decide what I want to do about that. Now, I'm using my example, my weight. Weight is a simple one, but it's not, it can be anything. It can be like stress. How many of you suffer from stress? I mean, I know the majority of the people on this call, if not all of you, have stressful jobs. You have times when you're trying to balance it all. And then if you're not balancing, then what? You're like, oh, I'm not doing anything. Nothing's happening. But then those are the times when you can nurture yourself. But we don't take the time to do that, right? You have a starting point. Admit or recognize your starting point. Create some awareness and then decide what you want to do about it. And then when those old things, those old habits, those old thoughts start coming back, right? We know this. We need to change the tape. It's the same with addiction. Don't go out and do more stuff. Practice from the internal within, knowing that you are perfectly fine from the inside out and living authentically, because then that dictates your choices, right? So we're talking tonight about how, what if the thing that defines you, that you do, the things that you do, the titles that you have, what if they went away? Would you know who you were anyway? Would you feel valued? Would you feel empowered? How would you know? And would you be able to still be content, to still be happy? When I talk about being content and having true contentment, that's what I'm talking about. Even though I'm 30 pounds overweight, I'm still content. Does it mean I need to make some movement for myself in the health area? Absolutely. But I don't hate myself for it. I don't hate myself. I don't get down on myself. Every day I make a choice. Every moment of the day I make a choice. You get to make the same choice. You're not a victim of your environment. You're not. And if you don't like your environment, change it. If you want to adjust it, adjust it. You can do that, but you can only do you. You can't do everybody else. So don't take on that stuff either. So when we're talking about not being addicted to an external way or not basing the way our worth, what defines us, what we do is not you. What I do as a licensed marriage family therapist, as an integrative life empowerment coach, as a mother, as a wife, as a daughter, that doesn't make who I am. Those are the things I do by living, deciding how I want to interact in the world in those different ways. Does all this make sense? Man, I wish I could see people's comments. I can't see any of them. I must have to update the iPad. So hopefully you guys are getting all this stuff and I can see the comments afterwards. I want to make sure to ask you guys this. Where is your joy coming from? Where is your true contentment coming from? If you don't experience true contentment right now, contact me. I can help you, right? I can help you take those steps. I do it every single day. And I love it. I love it. And I'm so passionate about it. But look and ask yourself, am I not feeling happy? Am I not feeling contentment? Am I feeling anger because of my environment? Am I looking to my environment to dictate the way that I feel? It's a hard thing. I mean, and I've had to practice over and over and pick myself back up and pick myself back up and pick myself back up and say, no, you got this. You guys got it too. You have an ability. It's already within you. If it feels like it's smashed down, get around some girls, get around some friends, get around people that are empowering, that know your worth. Because that's always helpful. Because when we give as helping professionals, we constantly are depleting ourselves and we don't recognize it. It becomes our new norm to operate at 30, 20, 15%. If that's how you like operating and it's really helping you and it's like making you happy and all those things, which I doubt it is, then you can continue to be like that. You get to choose. That's the awesome part of this. So just to recap, if you ask yourself, why am I not happy right now? And it is because of your environment, you need to turn within. Go back within. And you need to say, what about this inside needs a little bit of adjustment, needs a little bit of empowerment, needs a little bit of encouragement. Look to find ways in which you can be refilled back up. It doesn't have to be separate from something necessarily. I was leading the 2017 Vision Roadmap workshop, which was kick ass, I'm just saying. And one of the women in there had a revelation that, in order to take care of myself, I don't have to separate from my family. They bring me joy. So how do I operate within that? Because that's totally possible too. You don't always have to separate. You can operate within a system. You just have to know yourself that much better. So I want to encourage all of you to be asking yourself between now and next True Serum Tuesday, which is next Tuesday, 7:30 p.m., what is causing this feeling? And if you don't, and if you're looking to your environment, look back within, say what is really happening, take a moment to just acknowledge. Don't judge it. Acknowledge where you're at and decide what you want to do about it. Because you have the power within you to do that. So, I was going to draw a card. Do people want me to draw a card? I was going to draw, I'm back. I'm going to draw a card about the topic. Okay. So I'm going to use these Archangel cards. They're from Doreen Virtue. So I'm going to draw a card. I'm just going to be asking what we need to know about not letting our external environment define us. And we'll see if the card fits, great. If it doesn't, that's totally fine too. So let me see here. I'm just shuffling the cards, I'm not looking at them. It'll be interesting to see what comes up. Is this one it? Okay. Oh. I don't know if this has anything to do with it. But I got the 6 of Gabriel. That's what it is. So let me find it in here. It'll be interesting to see. Oh, okay. So this is interesting. This is what it looks like. I know it's backwards, so I'm really sorry. I'd show you in the mirror. The 6 of Gabriel, and it stands for this. So remember, we're talking about looking at external, and you have to go back within, right? So it says, congratulations. You've done a brilliant job. Your hard work pays off, and those around you are highly impressed. Expect awards, promotions, or other forms of public recognition for your efforts. Enjoy this time of positive feedback. But don't rest on your laurels too long. There are other great works ahead of you. So if I'm only looking to this external environment to cause me to have happiness, it won't last forever. Right? I have to go within. So then this card can also indicate that it's time to make choices that benefit you personally. Rather than ones that are self-sacrificing. Yes, yes. I so love these cards. I love these cards. Did you hear that? Let me read that to you, because all of you women on here do some valuable work. All of you, all of you, all of you. Listen to this. This card can also indicate that it's time to make choices that benefit you personally, rather than ones that are self-sacrificing. It's okay to take care of you. I don't make this stuff up. Like, I just shuffled the card and I pulled it. So if you take anything from this talk internally, something that benefits you internally to build you, the strong woman within you, the divine knowing within you. Like, this stuff gets me all riled up. I love it. So again, one last time that I'm going to go ahead and sign off. It says this card can also indicate that it's time to make choices that benefit you personally, rather than ones that are self-sacrificing. It's okay to take care of you. So all of you out there, I love you all. Thank you so much for your support. I love having you on here. I wish there was more interaction that I could see, but I can't see it. So take away that don't rely on your external environment. It goes away. It comes and goes. It ebbs and flows. The only thing that you can do is do the internal. Build the strong woman within, the divine wisdom from within, and there will never be a time when you have discontentment, no matter what's happening. So I love you all, and I hope you have a great night. I will see you later. Bye.